Oh man. Oh, I should probably turn this down before I end up getting like a copyright for Joe Rogan. What the? Come on, Joe. Language, Joe. I have so much stuff that I need to do, and here I am procrastinating doing a live stream on a channel that I never even post on anymore. Oh boy, I need to like. I have too much data on the hard drives on my computer, and I need to like get to work and clear this thing out so I can get more work done. Oh, somebody's here. What's up? How's it going, somebody? What's cracking? And I'm surprised. Is somebody really there? I didn't think anybody was going to come onto this live stream. I'm growing my beard out for a video. Dude, I ate some sushi earlier. It was so hot today. And then I passed out. I still feel sleepy. Just like, oh my gosh. Oh, so what's going on with you? Whoever's there. Whoever is there. I need to get. Well, from what I understand, Sony cameras, you're going to be able to use the new Sony cameras for as webcams. So you don't even need to get an Elgato Stream Stick to plug your camera into your computer. So I guess I'm holding out for that. But I really wish I had an Elgato Stream Stick so I can plug in my Sony camera now. Oh boy. Oh. Talk to me. I don't even know what to say right now. Give me some inspiration. All right then. It's fine. You can just sit there quiet. Oh, I killed the batteries on this thing again. I always kill the batteries on this thing. So I've got so much. I got so much footage on this camera. I've got so much footage on this camera. GoPro. Um, what am I doing? Oh my gosh. I've got so much footage on all these cards. And these are not BS cards. These are monsters. It sucks too. I have so much data on my computer right now, mostly in the form of video, of course, that I can't even open. Oh, I can't even open Photoshop. It won't open. Mm. Oh, thanks for the like. Dope. How's it going? Yo, Joe. Dude. I was just saying to whoever, somebody that won't identify themselves, that I'm basically procrastinating right now. I have so much video on my PC right now that I can't even open Photoshop. I want to make a thumbnail because I'm gonna start doing live streams from 5 p.m. on Sundays, live at 5, Banana Split Sundays, and I wanted to make a thumbnail for tomorrow, and then I couldn't open Photoshop. What are you doing right now? Are you available? Can I call you on the phone? Joe. There you are. Oh, dude, I took a nap too. I ate food and then I pass out for a while. Yo, I'm calling you. Is it working? I have the camera turned off though. Didn't join. Joe. I'm trying to keep you from having to type. I was curious about. I wanted to hit up Aaron. Haven't talked to Aaron in a while. He called me just to be like, "Yo, good job on getting a bunch of subscribers like 10,000 subscribers ago." And oh shit, is that me? What's that sound? Yo,
Hey, dude.
there you are. Crazy. Yeah, I haven't streamed
Yeah,
on.
it's been a while. It's been a while since you had done your anything on your Zambi life.
Yeah, I just thought I'd check it out because I know uh, that's my second highest subscriber count out of my channels. Yeah,
Yeah, it's good to have like an everything channel.
a variety channel.
Which is yeah, just kind of like a kind of a trash can that you can just throw with like for just an open folder, just putting whatever you want. I mean that's kind of my main channel. It's kind of a trash can channel. It's all over the place. But
I was curious if anybody would even come on.
oh yeah, yeah.
So it was just you and one other person that won't say anything.
Those are the true fans.
Yeah. Have you talked to Aaron?
Personal driver. It's been. I think last time I talked to him was like in March, right at the beginning of the lockdown. I asked him, asked him if he had enough toilet paper. He said he's good. And so it's uh, yeah. No, he sounded like he's doing all right. But,
Yeah.
straight up place.
Yeah.
Now it's like it just
Oh, my neck.
different. I don't know. Yeah, like if people can get, I can see where people get frustrated with like they say like, oh, the algorithm must not want me to like succeed on it or something like that. And then they would say like they would look at it as like, oh, well, if I can get guaranteed income of just putting in all these hours and just getting paid for it, like I don't know. Yeah, it's
Jordan and El Chapo came in my chat. I can't believe there's like more people.
no,
But I had it muted so that they're like sound. But check it out. So more things happened. So I somebody set up a meeting. They wanted to help me build my channel.
okay,
So I had that meeting tonight at 5 p.m.
oh,
Turns out, and I'm talking to him for a good 20, 30 minutes before I find out it's Ian from Jubilee. The
is
where I did those two videos, the dating video, and then the odd man out, six
oh,
minimum wage workers, 1 millionaire.
oh, nice. Someone that licensed your videos or uh,
Well, they have 4 or 5
so,
million subscribers, and they casted me in 2 of their videos.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so I
That's
didn't
yeah,
get
yeah,
paid.
we're pretty cool.
Like I just did it to like build my own following, and to have fun making videos. El Chapo says hi.
So oh, that's good.
He's like, hi, Joe.
That's
So
they,
so he called
well, that's
me and he wanted to sell me an 8-week program, 75-minute calls. Like every week we get on the phone for 75 minutes and he helps me with like my analytics and my production value and all this stuff to help me like, you know, build my YouTube channel. Let me in on all
how
the
much
secrets. You don't
what's that
even
gonna
want to
cost?
know.
It's,
And the way
if it's in the thousands,
it was $7,500. And this is the thing that kind of like threw me off. Well, a couple things threw me off actually. But he's like, if you sign now, I'll do it for 5,500. And I'm just like, what? Like, sounds like some BS. But at the same time,
yeah,
if I had that kind of money, I might do it because I do know like this guy like has had a lot of success with Jubilee,
yeah,
and they do know what they're doing over there. Only thing is they have kind of a niche, uh, like they really cater to younger people, which isn't a bad thing. But like the stuff that I'm working on is really not for just younger people,
yeah,
and I worry that that's not going to be the right person to go with. But then also, like Jubilee gave me bad vibes. The last thing that I went on, that 6 minimum wage workers, 1 millionaire, they forced me
yeah.
out of the competition. Like I legit, according to their rules, there was 3 winners, me and these 2 girls, and then they continued the game until the girls voted me out, and I felt very like excluded from the situation because like they set the rules and I won according to those rules, and they kept the game going until I was out when the game should have been ended at that point. So I kind of like, I'm like, yeah, like I would like to work with you guys, but like that really rubbed me the wrong way when they kind of effed me over on the game.
That's and now he wants to sell you like a training seminar kind of thing.
Yeah, it's
But
like if your media company never effed me over in the past, I'd be a little more, prepared to give you my money. Yeah, when I think back at the call, there was some suspect stuff.
that I think you pretty
Yeah, and you know what he said to me? He was like, "Well, if you just keep doing the same things, then you can't really expect a change." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I haven't been doing the same things." That's another thing.
Yeah,
He didn't really do any kind of research on my channel to really know what I'm about.
yeah.
He's
Just giving
like
you a sales.
"So how's the driving going?" And I'm just like, "What do you mean?" Like you don't like you could just look at a few of my titles and see that I was deactivated and that I'm not driving anymore.
Yeah, I think it sounds like selling timeshares or something.
Yeah, it really was kind of messed up. I think part of it too is because they can't shoot right now. Um,
Oh, oh, they're looking for other revenue sources.
like all their shoots are like Zoom shoots, right?
Yeah,
So, um, yeah, they probably got a lot of free time.
and I think it's uh, the van thing is going to be that's going to be like your co-part. It's when Randy Shear Uberman switched from rideshare to rebuilding cars. His channel went from 50,000 subs to 230,000 subs in like a year,
Yeah.
and it's like there's only so much you can go about like Uber and Lyft. It's like there's only so many potential subscribers.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about that too. Like, so I talked to Dustin the other day, or early like
Oh yeah,
yesterday or the day before, just for like a minute, and it just made me realize, like, Dustin was the one guy out of this whole, like, of course, like you're like super positive, but like Dustin like gave me like kind of helped me out, like helped me make some money off of referrals, gave me some tips, and I realized after talking to
nice.
him, like as cool as Dustin is, even he is such like a negative prick. And there's
Oh
so
yeah,
many
yeah,
like negative people around the YouTube space. Like, a rideshare professor is a great example. Like, I thought in the beginning I didn't like rideshare professor, and then I met him, and I'm like, oh, he's like an all right dude. Like, he's actually a pretty cool guy. I like rideshare professor, but there is like that element of like negativity around every one of these people, even the ones that I like. I'm just like, dude, like, why are you guys so damn negative? And the reason I say that is because like my personality type, like it really drains me. Like I like to be around
yeah.
people that are like really positive, and when even people that I like, when they're like overly negative, it just it's not.
Brings you down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
they're and a big
Well,
like you for example, like you're always like if anybody needs help or whatever, like you'll just jump at the opportunity to like be of service to somebody. It's like that's what friends do, right? And I don't feel like
yeah,
that with other people. I feel even the people that are willing to help, they seem so much like they're about themselves, you know and I don't know, man. But there's not a lot of people like you know what I
I
mean?
have,
Like, it's
I have,
not common for
you
people to be so generous and positive.
I don't. I mean, it's like it could be like traumatic experiences that shaped them of like they've had such a uh, like a difficult struggle in life, and then like here's a platform, and they're not going to be. Um, I think probably you know I've had it easier than a lot of other people in this world
So you're
growing up,
saying
but
they have personality disorders, they're narcissists and borderline personality. You said it, not
I
me.
think yeah, I think there's like, like maybe like a sense of like you know criticism on the world, like the world's treating me like crap or something like that. And it's like, so why should I, kind of, um, it's or it's I don't yeah. Well, rideshare specifically, like good luck trying to find a positive story about rideshare. It's like I know like people get a lot of flack for like saying like, oh, you just like all negative stories, dumping on rideshare. Like, there's not a whole lot to like. Yeah, you wait $20 an hour.
Yeah,
It's like,
if you're really being real, like yeah, there's not a whole lot of positive.
yeah, it's a thing where like nobody's getting super rich off of this, and the longer you do it, you're kind of more screwed up. It's like your traps. Uh, it's I've tried interviewing for jobs after like years of this stuff, and it's tough. It's a tough conversation to have. But like employers are like, so what have you been doing for the last couple of years? Like, I've been driving for Uber, and then like, can we call your previous employer as a reference? No, you can't. You can try and tweet them.
Well, you could show them your rating.
That's Chris was telling me. Yeah, he was saying like that you can show like the comments and stuff like that, which of course can't be verified. I mean, you can just show Photoshop a bunch of whatever you want to those.
But a
So
rating
that's
definitely means something, especially on Uber because it's based on 500 trips and they give no
right,
leeway.
right, yeah, yeah. But it's not a uh, it's just it's yeah, it is a side kind of a side gig, side hustle, but I don't know. I still feel like I want to go back out there and drive. Like it's an addiction. That's what it
Well,
is.
okay, so
Like
something positive about rideshare. The most
I need
positive
the
thing,
Uber. I need it.
but
I need to run on my cows. I
honestly,
need a ride share.
the most positive thing is the exposure to like the different people and the conversations and
Yeah,
the things that you just learn driving around town and talking to different people. You know, not although not everybody, like some people are just they're quiet and they act like they hate you, but
yeah,
a lot of the time, you know, you just pretty much every time I go out, there's something interesting I talk to somebody about, and I might learn something. So it's cool. And just the
that's
exposure.
what I'm.
I think that's the number one thing I got out of Uber is I haven't been too exposed to that many people ever in my life.
Yeah,
You know, like over
no,
10,000 different people that I've like talked to. Like no job that I've ever had has done that for me, and I feel like it really advanced me in psychologically and
that's what
like yeah,
it was like a social boot camp. It forces you to be kind of. It's like speed dating. I mean,
yeah.
if you ever, every passenger you get them for at least 10 to 15 minutes, and it kind of produces like yeah you can sit in the car and not say anything, but then it kind of feels even more awkward, especially when they sit up front and they don't say anything. I feel like I'm on a DMV driving test,
Yeah,
but uh, I did yeah it is maybe that's what I missed about it. Of course now I'm really interested to see what's going on with the setting the rates in California though. Um,
that's
Drivers
what
can
I
set
called Dustin about. I was like, "Yo, we just got this email about we get to set our rates now in LA and the
yeah.
surrounding counties," and he's like, "Oh, that was 3 months ago." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Okay, like trying to help you out with your videos, dude. Like you don't have to be an asshole about it."
I use referring to the airport. They were testing that at Sacramento Airport, Palm Springs Airport. Um, but as far as I know, like yeah, the Jay Crater video a couple days ago was like when the first time I heard about it. It was about the statewide thing. Uh, I think it's going to be. I I think honestly, I think drivers are going to make less money. I think it's going to be a race to the bottom,
There is a
and
baseline though.
there's a baseline. It's five. Is it like you can do five up to 5 times the rate, or 5 times less than the rate, or something like that?
You can go
That's your
below.
control. You can go below, yeah, and
That's
that's why they were
BS.
doing it. Yeah, and out here in the Bay Area, it's like 60 cents a mile on Uber X. So that means we're getting like 12. You can go drive for 12 cents a mile or something like that. It at the minimum. But and I was talking to Chris, Real Rideshare Stores. It was like passengers can cancel the ride like when they book the ride and the person saying like they get a notification like, oh, this driver is going to charge 1.2x, and the passenger can cancel that because they feel like they can get a better deal with somebody else. That's so it's going to pit drivers against drivers.
It's also just going to make the app like work not work as well. I feel too. You know.
Yeah, it's more complexity in the app. Part is
Yeah.
it could crash more, it could have bugs.
It's already so annoying how we get canceled on and blah blah blah, and it's just going to happen even more.
But I wonder if the criticism is going to be like it's going to save Uber from the like all the drivers that are complaining about the rates for years about Uber lowering the rates, capable lowering the rates. Now Uber says if you want to drive for more, go ahead. You're not going to get any rides, but like now the complaint on Uber anymore because it's rate
Yeah, it's still on Uber because the whole reason they're doing it, like they've been talking about it on CNBC, what they're doing here in California, and that
oh yeah
they like the way the business news is looking at it is like they're trying to pull the wool over the public's eyes, and people in business know that the only reason that they're doing this is 85, and they literally want when they talk about it on CNBC, they refer to the law as 85. So in business, they know what's going on, what Uber is trying to do. Like it's just all about the getting around the law.
yeah. And they got a bill going through that they're sponsoring and trying to overturn AB5, I guess, in November. But, I don't know. Yeah, these companies are not good companies. they're it's they're corrupt, they're greedy, and they don't care about the drivers. That's for sure. And they barely care about the passengers. But even then, it's like they help the passengers out a little bit over drivers. But I mean, there's a huge loophole. There's a huge gray area in all of these companies that goes. The name of it's called insurance. And I spent like a 4-hour live stream looking at the terms of service and the use of them for the food delivery companies. And if you're using your car for food delivery, you're using your car as a business, so you're technically not insured on your personal policy. At least with rideshare, you had the option to get a rideshare endorsement, but that doesn't apply to food delivery. That doesn't apply for Postmates or Grubhub or DoorDash. Uh, so
But all you have to do is be smart and not admit that what you were doing. That's what you were doing because they can't. I mean, technically, if they suspect something, I'm sure they could subpoena the data from DoorDash or whatever. If they deposition you and they ask you, do you work for DoorDash? Were you working when this accident happened? You could be in some trouble, because if you don't want to lie, you really don't in a deposition. You don't want to lie because what if you end up getting caught in that lie? Then you're screwed.
It's a risk that's entirely on the drivers, and these companies do nothing to like share that risk or take some of that burden off. It's like,
Or at least give a path, like give us a legal path to do the right thing. Don't just like leave this loophole.
I called like 5 insurance companies, and not one of them said they have any kind of insurance plan for food delivery other than Breeze. But the one at Farmers said I could work that out, possibly work it out with an individual agent, but their customer service line said like no, they obviously don't. They have to like subcontract that, or I'm sure it would be expensive. And food delivery, now it's like it pays decent, but when everything gets back to normal, it always it didn't pay as good as rideshare in the past. So to have an extra expense like that, it's just um, Postmates apparently has what's called they give you an occupational hazard coverage, which is if you get injured on a Postmates job that they have an insurance plan for you. They won't tell you how much your coverage, how much you're covered, or the fact that it mentions nothing about you're, you were injured in a car accident or something like that, or covering other people involved in that accident. It's like that. So yeah, I can't believe yeah, but you're right. It's the burden of proof is on the insurance companies to prove that. Obviously, if you're doing rideshare, Uber, Lyft, California state requirements, you have to show your decals in the front and back window. There's no requirement for Postmates to have a Postmates decal on your window for any of those companies. So your car, you could drive around in just an unmarked Prius and deliver food, and your car would look like everybody else's car on the road. And if you got into an accident, you could say that, oh yeah, I was just getting this food for myself, or some of this catering bag is for my own use. So it's tough to prove, but it's also a risk that they are not talking about, and it is on. It does exist for all the couriers out there, and these companies don't even mention that. They would say, "Oh, by the way, you're doing this illegally with your insurance."
I mean, all these years and they still haven't worked out the minor issue.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, and yeah, you've been pleading in your videos for a long time for them to do something about this stuff, and
Or just fingerprint us at the very least so that we can just drive
right.
we're out here to make money. That's why I come from that point of view. If fingerprinting us means that we can drive the minors, then fingerprint us because I don't want to deny trips.
Nothing. Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. Those self-entitled douchebags from Beverly Hills. That night I remember that video. You had that run-in with a group of teens or something like that. They were trying to get a ride, and then or the house party in the hills that
Those kids that I drove for free.
yeah, and
Did you know
it's
that
just
girl? That girl that I talked to after the ride, she messaged me on Instagram. She was like, "Sorry about my friends. Like you were really cool, and my friends were idiots. They weren't really my friends anyway, but yeah, kind of thing. Yeah.
but no, we have to put up the truck. I mean, that industry. That's the stuff that when they say drivers should be paid more, they should be compensated more for that crap that they have to deal with.
And they shouldn't be put in bad situations that are completely avoidable by $100 billion company. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, yeah.
It's really bad.
No, and there's no consequence for passengers. I mean, they might get deactivated, but then they can just make a fake account and get on the platform the next day.
But
if your rating gets too low, you just make an account.
those kids in Beverly Hills, I made that video. I get so many comments on that video. Why didn't you just leave? Why did you just hang around? It's like, dude, like, and I realized after getting so many comments like these, just don't respond. Like when you try to explain themselves, they just want to argue that you're wrong and they're right. But the whole reason, I'll explain to you because you won't do that to me. And it kind of drives me crazy that people want to look at it in some negative way. But the reason why I didn't go anywhere isn't just because I'm taking video of them. I was at Santa Monica, like I just turned onto Beverly Boulevard or Beverly Drive, and there's all these restaurants right in front of me. Like Rodeo's right over here. I'm on Beverly. Like if I just sit there, it's like 8 o'clock or something. If I just sit there for a few seconds, I'm gonna get a trip right in front of me.
Yeah.
Like that's and then also the other thing that pisses me off, it's like, oh, why didn't you just leave? Is those kids left and came back twice. They left. and I'm fine. I'm just sitting here by myself, and then they come back over. And so just the irony of them, I have viewers looking at me like somehow I'm harassing these kids and I won't leave them alone. Is like it's the complete opposite of what happened, and it just kills me. Like,
It's kind of like it's if you somebody was stalking you and like was threatening your life or something like that, and showed up to all like was standing outside your house, and it's like and just parked there. It's like somebody saying like, oh, well, why don't you just move? Like you shouldn't have to. It's like it's that
I love that analogy.
it's taking the side of like those douchebag like kids that were abusing the system, were complete assholes. And it's like, why should they take? Why are they taking theirs? Why are they identifying with like? It's just I don't know. Yeah, it's just you were doing exactly what you weren't breaking the law. It's like
It just makes me realize that there's like a lot of like disturbed people out there, and we need to be careful
yeah, yeah.
because they're
I,
gonna
I
look at things in a effed up way.
that's one of the things I've learned about YouTube is that comments can come from all different types of people and points of view, and there's people that know they don't worry about voicing their opinion about anything. It's like,
When you're dealing with somebody like, especially if you're close to somebody, and they have this attitude of like they can never do anything wrong. That's something that I've realized. Like, they can't just be like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize that that bothers you. Like, no, they have to defend to the death every little thing because they do nothing wrong. I've started to realize, like, in my old age, that I've had quite a few friends like that just can't apologize and they don't respect boundaries. And yeah, moving forward, I am not going to be dealing with those types of people.
that's issues that they yeah, YouTube doesn't fix anybody. It just kind of it's and I think the people that I've come across that are like hard to deal with are the ones that can't forgive. So
Ooh.
you can make a joke and it might offend somebody and apologize, and they will never. It's like they'll never accept your. I think it's because they can't forgive themselves most of the time. That's it's. But they'll condemn you for the rest of your life because you said something that they didn't agree with, and like that's not a great way to go through life on their part. But that's yeah, they feel like they're right, and uh, so I remember Aaron got a lot of that flack. That's one of the things I always liked about Aaron, your personal driver, was like he kind of stood. He wasn't afraid. He brushed it off. He didn't let the criticism get to him, and he got trolled. I mean, he had his share of like haters out there. People saying like like, oh, you're a creeper. You're like why are you live streaming the rides? It's like they're trying to tell him how to raise his family. Like it's like it's just YouTube. And people get so emotional with this stuff.
And the irony of people
But
that want to call him a creeper is that they're not realizing, like, here's a YouTuber out of like all these YouTubers. Here's finally a YouTuber with Aaron who's not afraid, like, has the courage to just be honest and be his true self and put that on the screen and with no fear. And then you want to criticize him for who he is. Like,
we're definitely too like politically correct these days. On this stuff. But everything is a safe space. It's like it just uh, and then he can't voice any like really not allowed to have any kind of other original opinion. It's got to conform to what everybody else should be. Think like, oh, you should be doing this job and not like not saying anything about it, anything bad about it, or like no, there's some reality you got to face on this stuff. And
did you hear about what's his name getting Shane Dawson got canceled? What was that about? What did he
Shane
do
Dawson.
wrong?
Oh, I didn't hear.
Yeah, YouTube completely removed him from monetization,
uh,
and he's like one
was
of the
he?
original YouTubers.
Oh, the name sounds familiar, but
I'm surprised you didn't hear about
uh,
that. Like, I thought you might
yeah.
know.
Uh, you know what's crazy is TikTok. TikTok. I hope you don't have a TikTok account,
I
because
don't.
that that is some shady stuff. Like it's basically spyware that's disguised as a social media platform.
Hmm.
It's really you know this uh, it's close to getting banned in the United States. It was already kicked out of India, and apparently there's all these like the United States is like number one market. It's one of what's most popular. It's even more popular here than it is in China.
It's so
And
genius as spyware too, because in order to use TikTok, you really do have to give it permissions to your camera, your audio, like so many things you have to allow permissions on. Even possibly your contact list. Uh,
yeah,
and it's a highly successful app that people want to use.
and that's the thing is like people that have gone that have used TikTok and they used to use YouTube.
Thanks for the
A lot
like.
of people were like frustrated. Oh,
Somebody gave me
yeah, a
another
lot of
like.
people were frustrated. Oh, that's good. Who do we have? Who else is in the chat?
El Chapo saying hi to you is the last thing in the chat.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. People. There's a lot of people that were frustrated. Like they started a YouTube channel and it didn't get any subscribers, and then they started TikTok, and like in 2 months they have 2,000 followers. But like, how do you know those are real followers? Like, you could just be saying this, like your TikTok channel is growing,
Well,
just
they're
so
getting
people keep
paid.
using TikTok. That's enough. Yeah. Now, there's no monetization directly from TikTok, but if you have 1 million followers, you can reach out for company sponsors. And a lot of people they interviewed in the article I read about a couple days ago about the possible banning in the United States. They're like a bunch of young people that have channels. They're worried about like if they get shut down, how are they going to make like if it's like there are people making like $10,000, $20,000 a month of company sponsored videos, a couple million fans on TikTok, and yeah, that's gonna suck. Good luck if you like get blocked or get banned.
As somebody that's not on TikTok, I'm looking at that like, hell yeah. Like, fuck that. Fuck those kids. No, but they, um, I forgot this one YouTube news guy. He was saying that he thinks this is going to be like Vine. And all these kids that found success on TikTok are going to move right over to YouTube. And there's going to be this explosion of new YouTubers, like what happened when Vine ended.
Yes, yeah. That's kind of how it got me onto YouTube too. There was a before I didn't even have a YouTube account, and I watched YouTube, but I didn't know anything about like subscribing to channels or anything. I just thought like, oh, it's on the Apple TV, so I'll just watch some YouTube. And then a friend of mine showed me this app called Hype, and it was a live streaming app back in like
Yeah, and then also I'm a small YouTuber. I have 15,000 subscribers, and I've got a video with 1 million views. I've got between like 3 or 4 videos, 2 million views. That's a lot of exposure.
Oh yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
amazing.
that really that right there is one of my favorite things. Especially what I love is seeing the world analytics, and you start looking at like, oh, there's someone in Germany that watched my video. Like I've never met anyone from Germany or like or Norway or something. Like, there's like these views are coming from like over like you get this worldwide audience that everybody has access to. Just I don't know. We're of the same kind of generation where when we grew up, there was public access TV, KQED, public radio that was kind of an open door for people like but you could host a show on public TV, but it'll be broadcast for like one zip code at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it'll cost you $15,000. But to have a Super Bowl, an ad on the Super Bowl with millions of people, now that's like Coca-Cola pays like millions of dollars for that. So it was like so out of reach to actually be noticed that it was like unless you knew somebody in the industry, you had connections. But now YouTube comes along and says like, no, everybody has instant. You do one video, your first video, and it's open to the whole world to watch this.
Like Janelle Eliana, she got to 2 million subscribers in her first month with 2 videos.
Oh, uh,
She lives up
what's
there.
does she do? Uh, what's her theme or what is she?
She lives in a van. She's pretty cute. She lives in a van. She has a pet snake named Alfredo, and she's got an amazing personality. Like she's funny. She's funny. She's sharp.
Uh, I honestly, that's the van life is something that's been calling like myself for a while. I kind of like. Uh, well, I was living in a van actually when I was going to San Francisco State years back, and I had a Oldsmobile Silhouette minivan, and I took the back seats out, put a twin size mattress, and I could fit my bicycle there. And San Francisco has like really good weather. It always cools off in the nighttime, so you're never too hot. I knew where all the free Wi-Fi shop places were. I had a 24-hour fitness membership for my shower, and I had a public storage unit for my extra storage and stuff like that. And it was fun. It was like it's a little lonely sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, but the feeling of like like oh tonight I'm gonna park right here. Maybe tomorrow I'll go there. It's like or like 2 o'clock in the morning. This was something I really loved. It's like especially in a city that has late night restaurants. You can go and like decide I'm gonna go get uh, some a cheeseburger at Mel's Diner at 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Um, and it felt like survival mode, and it really shows you like it taught me how little somebody really needs to survive. You don't need all this extra space. You don't need if anything, having all this crap in your life like starts to control you. And it's like it just my mom, she kind of like the last half of her life, like she was collecting, she would save everything. She's like one of those hoarders, and she would save like McDonald's napkins. Like she wouldn't throw newspapers away. Her house, like she had this like thing, this like second house on her property that was completely filled. It took me 2 years to go through that stuff and throw a lot of it away. Um, but it was like it just she couldn't leave her house because she was worried that something would happen to all her stuff. Like I don't want to live like that. I'd rather I want to have like I'd love to have that Jack Kerouac style where everything I need it fits in a backpack, and
Are you talking about Up in the Air?
up in the air, yeah. Oh, well, no, what's the one where the guy goes to Alaska, and it's
Oh, they removed that bus last week.
Did they?
Yeah,
Oh,
because it was just dangerous. Like people were trying to go over to it, and it was becoming a dangerous
yeah.
situation, so they removed it.
Oh man.
Was it
So
like
I
Into the
thought
Wild or something? What was that? I
Into the
forgot.
Wild. Yeah, that's it. Into the Wild. Guy just gives up everything and decides to just hit the road and just explore life. And unfortunately, he wasn't really prepared for that. Well, he got trapped because he crossed a stream at the beginning of the months of where he was going, and then like the rains came, and then when he was going to leave to get more food, he comes back in the stream that turned into a river, and there was no way across. So he had to go back and then just live off of that. And he got poisoned with like berries and stuff like that. But I mean, you could still read his journals. He kept on writing like up until he died, and it was like it just he had this sense of like being free out there, and just like really, it's yeah, it's dangerous, but um, there's he learns, you have some skills
When I get the van built, I definitely want to come up and visit. I have family in Oregon, so what I should do is like when I head up
to go
there,
tour.
I should make my first stop to visit you.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It, uh, I think so. I bought my brother's Toyota Sienna like about a year ago to do Uber XL and Lyft XL, and now I haven't done rideshare since March.
Same here.
I don't think maybe when we have a vaccine, I might go back into doing rideshare again, but I don't think I'm going to sell the van because I think I'd still like to do that kind of touring around uh, lifestyle. I wouldn't mind doing like uh, taking the seats out again and just converting it to a conversion van. It's weird. It's funny. I just took a nap and I had this dream that I was in San Francisco in a conversion van, like a Chevy or a Ford E350 with the high top conversion. And I just bought this thing off Craigslist, and I was driving around like, oh man, this is awesome! I got a bench that folds into a bed. I'm gonna throw in like, I was just dreaming about this. But, uh, it keeps you organized. And from my experience, like you got to have the necessities. You got to have at least a case of water. Of course, if your van, you're gonna have like a whole plumbing system on it, but uh, and uh, and I think what you're going to engineer like a kind of like a toilet thing, uh, or a hole or something like that in the van.
Um, I'm gonna shit in a bag
Is it? Yeah, yeah,
because I realize that that's like the cleanest way to go.
yeah.
I'm gonna have like a little
It,
trash thing outside in the back.
that's
So
yeah.
like trash will be outside the van.
Does there does the van have like a tow hitch already installed?
No, I have all the electronics for it, but the receiver isn't there yet.
You get a receiver. It's got a there's a device that you can attached to those. It's basically like it's a floating toilet that's that mounts to the rear. It's like keeps everything outside the van, which is what you want. And it's basically yeah, you can either just you can hook up a bag underneath it or something like that. Uh, but and then uh, there's stuff like was it gray water and blue water or something like that.
Gray and black.
Gray and black water. Yeah.
I'm gonna have a gray
And
water tank, but not a black water tank.
yeah.
People that have black water tanks, you could smell them, especially when you're
Oh
driving.
yeah, yeah. Um, but also really important that if you don't want to be caught like get like above 85 or 90 degrees outside, uh, it's the ventilation is really important. But
I have an air conditioner in it now.
oh, yeah, it's electric. It's like run off the
Batteries.
batteries. Did you already have the? Did you get the batteries? The
That's the one. I have my whole solar system
oh
except
yeah,
for the batteries.
you got the inverter, power inverter to convert that charge and stuff.
I'm thinking about starting to make some van videos, and who knows, like maybe I can do a good job and get a channel built, and maybe like
Aren't
a.
you? You think a new channel? Or
I'm
would you
about to.
start fresh? Like yeah.
Yeah. Oh hey, it's Go Donnie. Come on,
Yeah, I
man.
see. No way. Cool, man.
Come on, man. I didn't know
The
he knew my Zambi channel. That's cool.
that one of the ideas I thought would like to do when I had the minivan that I was sleeping in was get some like half-inch steel plates and make the van bulletproof, just in case like there's a drive-by shooting, and so it'll block like
Half inch steel's heavy. I did put polycarbonate
yeah.
Lexan. I put Lexan on my back windows today.
Oh yeah, no,
I want to make it like really
it's
hard to break into.
yeah. There's just the slide. Is there two sliding doors or one? There's one sliding door and the
Yeah,
door
the
that
side
says.
door slides.
So you just have to focus on like those are your entry points and then just keep those. But at the same time, I guess like you said, anonymity is important. You don't want it to look like it's somebody's living in it or something like that.
Yeah.
So, that's why I did. I mean, it's one of the reasons I went to like I chose a minivan as opposed to a full size van. But uh, it depends on where you're at though. I mean, I think there's like I remember this one time. I was sleeping. I went down to Pacifica, and I really love the beach down there. And they have a lot of like expensive houses down there, and so I was like too tired to drive back to San Francisco, so I just found a place like in the neighborhood to like sleep. And then I cracked one of the windows so that that's another thing. It's like if you have all the windows closed, it's not that you're going to suffocate. It's just like your body needs going to create all this moisture, and then the windows are going to be all fogged up, and it's going to look like somebody's sleeping in the van. So I opened the window, and then I woke up, and it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and there was this Asian woman who was like standing outside, just like looking into the glass, like trying to see if like someone in there. Like I just like froze, and I like heard, oh shit, did she hear me snoring or something? And like here I am parked outside of her house, and it was dark when I pulled up, but like, and then she's like on her cell phone now, like she's calling the police, like oh shit. And she goes back inside. I just jumped into this driver's seat and just took off. But
She heard you snoring and thought it was a generator.
yeah, that's the closest I've come to like I don't know. The first month I remember anyone like I used to get woken up with the sound of footsteps because I had this place that I parked in San Francisco. It was on a hill, and there was a kind of a street on one side, and then there was a hillside, and then like a park area. So, but it could be 12 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock in the morning. Any sound of footsteps like used to freak me out. You get used to that stuff though. You know what? One thing I realized is there's actually a lot of people that have sex in their cars.
No.
When I mean, the places I used to park to sleep, like, were also apparently like, I've discovered this fact, like, were like popular like makeout spots, and yeah, there's a lot of people, and there's like, yeah, they'll do it in like any type of car. It doesn't matter. They don't need a van for that. So, there was a Japanese, like a magazine in Japan that used to sneak up on like popular makeout areas and then creep up to the cars when people are getting busy in it, and then like pop up and then like shoot a flash photography through the window and run up, and then they publish those pictures. It's hilarious. Catch them in the act or something like that. It was, so
Like, that's my husband.
yeah.
That's my wife.
Oh my god. Oh, the Hookers on the Point. That was hilarious. That was a great show. It would follow the street, like the prostitution industry in Southern California or something like that. And they blur out the license plate, but they wouldn't blur out the bumper sticker that says "My kid's an honor student at Greenwood Elementary." So it's like you can identify the people that know who drives, a green Ford Taurus with a dented, like, off-colored rear door. Yeah,
That's Fred. What's Fred doing? Oh my gosh.
I guess that's why, like, one of the things when I heard about that Stringer app, I thought like you'd be perfect for that Stringer app.
I've tried so many times, and the only time I've ever gotten money for it was they asked for footage for something that happened the day before. And I happened to go record it. So I'm like, oh, shoot, I was at John Lee's inauguration. And so I uploaded the video that I took there, and they gave me $40.
I've gotten paid. I've probably made about $600 off of Stringer. It was my secret weapon on Stringer was this camera, Canon G7X Mark II, because it has really good low light, and so they used to send me to a lot of like night, like a shooting or a car, something or other. A lot of there's not really good lighting, and I just do like three steady shots. I do a wide shot, a medium, and then I get as close as I can before the police would tell me to move on. And 30 seconds each, I'd upload them, and I had like a 90% acceptance rate on that app. Like most times, they would choose my footage over, and I think it had to do with like steady shots, and but it was kind of fun. It was interesting, and it paid better than Uber. I mean, it would take me 25 minutes to do the whole thing to get the request, drive out there, get the footage, upload it. 25 minutes, and usually I'd make like 70, $80 off of that. They claim that they always tell you like if it sells to more than one news station, you'll get $75 for each. You'll get the full payment for each time it sells. I think it's the app is kind of like yeah. I mean, they can say like they never tell you who it's sold to, so kind of shady on that. But
And also, they'll like text me, like, oh, can you go to this thing? And I'll go to them, and I'll do exactly what they asked, and then they don't take my footage. But one thing that I realized is I would go, like, they text you making you think like you're the one, but then I get there and there's like 5 other people doing the same thing. And you can tell, and then I go talk to him and I'd be like, are you shooting for Stringer? And he's like, yeah. I'm just like, I'm like, all these people probably are here because of Stringer.
you and I, when this situation gets a little bit more under control with the virus situation, we got to go out there. We'll take my van for a whole night. We'll live stream on our channels, and we'll go to we'll make our own Stringer like videos. We'll have like a police scanner app, and it'll be like Nightcrawler. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I got the scanner app. It's pretty dope.
Yep, I got one of those. But so we can, yeah, and then maybe we'll find something, shoot something that actually does sell to a I don't know. There's some guy in LA that does that. He's got a full professional setup on
Loud
So he
Labs.
live streams it. Loud Labs, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They say that Nightcrawler was based on him.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's yeah. Uh,
You know, Stu Mundell was a stringer.
oh,
Do you know who that is?
uh,
He's LA. He's LA News. He's in the helicopter for like two different
oh,
channels. For like channel 9 and channel uh shoot, I can't remember now. But yeah, Stu Mundell,
you guys.
he's famous. And he
I
started
see.
as a
There's
stringer. What?
there's apps down there like that will notify you. You get there's a ton of carjackings in Los
Oh
Angeles.
shit, Genjoy. Oh
Oh yeah,
man. What, how do you say his name? I forget now. It's Genjoy,
Android.
right?
Yeah,
Genjoy.
I've never heard it say. I don't think I've ever heard him say like how he's. Or I just say Android. Yeah, it
I've
sounds.
asked him before, but that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a ton of car chases down in the Los Angeles area, and every time someone like a police chase happens, there's ways to get notified on that, and the news choppers are there. Uh, but and then yeah, you've had some chases, some stuff that like the drive by your house or something.
Oh yeah, I've been around so many police chases. So many. I got some recording of a really gnarly crash on 4th of July at night.
Oh man,
I was just test driving my van, and after I fixed it, and there was this gnarly crash. Like there was like four mangled cars in somebody's front lawn on Woodley, and it looked like this Porsche lost control and crashed into the front of somebody's house. And all the neighbors were out social distancing. There was like
well,
50 people just staring, watching the ordeal.
I mean that is like if it they say like, if it bleeds it leads. It's
Right.
like the news. That's what the news is like these these tragedies that are like they get the footage, they do the report on, they do the stories on it, and that's probably gets a higher ratings than like the positive stories of like oh there was a charity baking competition at the local library today or something like that. It's like
Dude, I
it's
got out with I have my camera, I'm getting my footage, and there's
yeah
three other stringers there already. In the middle of the street. You know, the cops were letting them get really close.
um, yeah I have that I had problem I went to a one of my first ones a stringer I went to a shooting like a drive-by shooting in a neighborhood in South San Francisco and I remember I had the camera and I had like a selfie stick kind of tripod thing, so it was kind of it was more obvious than like holding this thing up. The problem I had was the neighborhood. The neighbors started like getting upset with me, thinking that like I'm exploiting it's like oh look at that guy, he's just putting it on YouTube or something. Like,
But like we were talking about earlier, like there's always going to be those people that have like some negative opinion of what you're doing, you know.
yeah,
Like uh Channel 7 posted on Twitter cuz you know this girl got disappeared at Lake Piru, the actress.
oh
That's
oh
near me.
from Glee,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
That's not far from here. And so I've been to Lake Piru. I'm just like, how does that even happen? It's so crazy, right? And so today, Channel 7 tweeted a picture of her mom with her arms spread out on this like dock with like her brother there. And there was all these comments about how terrible it was for Channel 7 to post a picture like that. And I'm thinking like, what? I don't understand. Like, why is that so terrible? Like,
yeah. It's reporting on the story. It's reporting on the news. It's like it's not like the way I looked at it. I mean, like I justified this for my stringers was say like, is there a chance that like if the news does a story on this criminal activity or something like that, that maybe there could be a change. Like, yeah, they're selling advertisements, on the news,
But no, yeah, you're right. It's about changing the world. That's why we take
yeah,
these pictures. And you know what? Somebody might say that it's too graphic, and I say
yeah,
it's not graphic enough. Because if
yeah,
it's not graphic enough, it's not going to cause people to make a change.
right,
It's got to hurt bad, or else nobody's going to do anything.
right. And you can't just ignore that there's a problem here. And it's like, I remember Stringer. The scariest one that I went to was Stringer sent me to a suicide, and I was really worried that I didn't want to see somebody jump off
I
a
was
cliff.
watching your
And
video when you did that one. You were live
yeah,
streaming
oh yeah,
that.
that's right. Yeah, that's right. And I got paid for that one, but it was and thankfully I couldn't. They blocked off all the streets and everything, so I just got pictures of like fire trucks, which is kind of weird. Like if that's what sells, if that's all the pictures of fire trucks, like I wonder how much footage is just like stock footage of like a fire truck or a police car on the news and stuff.
Right?
But like you could make a business of just if you just go and shoot like make an inventory of San Francisco like locations, daytime and nighttime shots, just steady shots. You can probably fake a lot of Stringer requests, and then just like there's a shooting at this so and so area, we need footage, and you just upload like it's kind of like your Google Street View of that area. But,
And we know
uh,
what's is the Stringer in the movie.
oh yeah,
He was
oh
shady.
yeah, that was he really got into that, got pulled into where he was like manipulating the crime scene to make it more dramatic on it. It was really well acted though. It was really well done. Um, but then, yeah, he got so good at it that he was arriving before the police would show up, and and then he was walking through that like he filmed like the actual like the criminals were still there on the property and he captured the video or something like that. But yeah, it was a great movie. But, that is
Have you
so
ever watched Shot in the Dark?
Shot in the Dark. That was a documentary on the stuff that Nightcrawler was based off of.
Oh, I gotta see that. Is it on Netflix?
It might be. I think it was.
Genjoy asked that question.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's about Loud Labs.
That was Loud Labs, and then they took that story as basis for Nightcrawler. But, yeah, it's YouTube. If one of the things I've always like trying to struggled with on YouTube is do you make is it better to make a channel that has about one topic or you make a channel that can cover any topic out there?
For YouTube, I don't think, to really build, like get it to 1 million subscribers,
Yeah,
you have to follow a format.
it's follow format. So you say like this is a car channel, and all I'm going to focus on is cars. Um, but so then you're not going to do like let's plays of video games or something like that.
Not only it's even more specific than that. Like since you watch Daily Driven Exotics, I like
Yeah,
to use them as an example. Like if you notice,
yeah,
And this is something that the dude that I talked to today that wanted to charge me, he mentioned a term that I've never heard before, and it makes so much sense. He said, "Have you thought about packaging?" And so think about Daily Driven Exotics and how his content is packaged. Like every video is like kind of the same. Like there's certain things that you're going to expect from every video. And like so in his the packaging is the way the thumbnail looks, the things that he's talking about, the whole attitude of like Dave and uh shit, I can't remember his name. What are the
Oh,
guys?
Alex Joy, or is that
No, not Alex Troy. Who's the guy that runs Daily Driven Exotics, the main dude?
uh,
Who it doesn't matter. But their packaging is very consistent,
yeah.
and it's
That's what
pretty.
Aaron. Aaron told me that like from the beginning was like you gotta make all your like
Damon.
consistency on your thumbnail.
Genjoy said Damon.
Consistency, like having a style of thumbnail, so like somebody can like quickly see like, oh, that's a Dave Viewerslave video, just from like the style, the font, and the colors and stuff of that. But I was wonder like, I mean, if you're a YouTuber and you focus on like, well, let's say you're a car channel, if like having too much of a focus might limit your audience. If you only like focus on 1987 Ford Tempos, like you're a car channel,
Yeah, that might be
but
too specific. Yeah.
it might be too specific on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Whereas if you're a gig economy channel and you just focus on Uber, and not just any kind of Uber platform, like Uber X in this specific market, then it can also kind of work against you, I guess.
Well, number one thing though is you have to bring value, right? Like I was just watching some random hot girl channel, right? And she talks about like what she's eating and things she's buying from Trader Joe's and where she's going. And then in this one segment, and of course I'm just watching it because I think she's pretty. But then in this one segment, she paints the window frame in her kitchen black. And it was so inspiring. And so it's kind of weird how you can bring value to your channel with something that kind of doesn't really have anything to do with your channel,
Yeah,
right? Because
it's
you're just moving along, you're doing your thing, and you're like, oh yeah, this was something interesting that you just throw into your video. It's not even like a huge part of your video. Like with Damon, that like he's always bringing so much value. He's telling you stuff about supercars that nobody knows unless you own it or driven it. You know, like
yeah,
like how to go into launch mode, and when a roadster Lamborghini crashes, there's these like bars in the back, safety bars that pop out like a roll cage. And like all that stuff is so interesting. And he knows that that's what's bringing value to his videos. So he's really sure to include it. And even though those little elements, they might only be like a couple seconds in a 15-minute video, they matter so much because at the end of the video, you feel like your life is you're enriched. You're just like, oh wow, I didn't know Lamborghinis had that. Like that's so crazy. So I think that is the biggest thing is bringing that little extra value.
and it also it helps if you have a passion for what you're covering too. So market doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
It's like you could if you love cars, then it doesn't feel like work when you have to go to a car show every day or something like that to get content. Uh, and there's enough freedom on YouTube so that everybody can pretty much do whatever they really their heart's desire on it. And there's an audience for it all. But uh, yeah, so yeah, you don't just choose the topic because it's a popular topic.
Oh, for you guys that are here, Genjoy, whoever, um, I'm gonna do a live stream on Dave the Uber Slave channel tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific. Just so you guys know. I was gonna make a thumbnail for it, and then I decided to procrastinate and talk to Joe.
What software are you using these days?
Adobe. 53 bucks a month.
You know, I've come around on Adobe. At first I thought like, oh, that's overkill. You don't need. You can get by with some like cheap photo, video editor that just stitches videos together.
Well, Resolve
But
is
then I
good.
realized like Resolve is yeah, Final Cut Pro is a really that's a
It's only
phenomenal one.
Apple.
Those are oh yeah, those are Apples. But the but you should like the thing that like I think I'm gonna make that switch over to Adobe. You're not just paying $53 a month for their software. You're, in a sense, you're buying a film class. The skills that you go into, that you learn about, the more you use Adobe software, you're building it like something like you could actually turn into a legitimate career. Like people will pay you to edit videos in Adobe Premiere and stuff, After Effects.
Yeah, and then also Adobe is the only software that we can like collaborate. Like you have Adobe and you have the files in your computer. I have Adobe and I have the files in my computer, and we can work on the same footage remotely.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so only Adobe does that.
Jeez.
And then also it's
I
cloud.
thought,
The Adobe cloud is like the Apple cloud. It's like it works really good. Like you put videos, like you can record videos with your phone and then come to your PC, and the videos you recorded on your phone are on your PC already. It's like it's insane.
it helps the workflow.
Yeah.
But you're learning skills that could, I mean, you know what video editors make? Like, like that's a pretty like good career like path of like you learn those skills and stuff. There's more people that have like they want to make something but they don't have the skills to edit it, and so those people are going to be paying you thousands of dollars to put their stuff to do their projects.
You know, sometimes I get down on myself about my life and stuff, and then I try to think positive, and I think like, wow, like 2 years ago, I knew nothing about editing a video or YouTube or any of that. And now I literally gave myself a bachelor's in YouTube, and I'm working on a master's now.
Right?
So,
And your work your channel is kind of like your resume out there, so you can say I produced this much. This is an example of my portfolio. Uh, that's what you get hired on. It's not about like, oh, did you go to UC Berkeley or Harvard or something like that. It's like, no, like what? Let me see the projects that you put together. That's
like, no, I'm an Uber slave.
that's yeah. That's no. There have been. I followed this rideshare industry on YouTube for a while now, and like I'd say a good 80% of the channels that I watched from the beginning are not around anymore. And so like it's something to be said of just being like still an active content creator, an active personality on there. So it's like, and not just because they like not the 80% is not because they switched topics and now they're going to restore cars. Like those 80% of like people that make channels they used to watch, they just walked away like this isn't working out. Like that's pretty amazing. That, that's pretty impressive. That you stuck with it. You're still going out there.
I mean, I can't think of anything better to do with my time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, yeah. If you enjoy it, it's that's you get paid to do what you love. It's not.
Problem is I have too many ideas and I can't just like settle in on one. I got so many different channel ideas, and like I want to do a food channel that combines with like touring LA as a
You
tourist.
growing up there.
I want to do a channel that's just like chaos and skits and funny and crazy and weird. And I want to call it. Well, I won't. I don't want to give away the name. I'm still alive, but and I want to do this van channel, and I want to do a Malibu channel.
Just Malibu.
Yeah, like I have I have it. It's called Critical Malibu. And most people, when they think of Malibu, they don't realize that we actually have like world class dangerous waves, like Pipeline. Like we're not. I mean, nothing's like Pipeline, but we do have waves that are like super critical, like Pipeline. And most people think of Malibu as like the slow Point Break, but that's not even that's like the kooky part of Malibu. Like there's actually like world class quality waves in Malibu. So I want to capture that. Like
You definitely got to come up to the Bay Area. I got to show you Mavericks. Uh, Mavericks has a surf competition every year. It's one of the they have 50, 60-foot waves out there. It's the big wave surf competition.
Half
So
Moon
you
Bay.
come with a jet ski
People have died there.
to get there. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
Yeah, when they do the comp, I'll definitely head up there. My van should be good to go by then. And yeah, let's go to Mavericks. I'm ready for that.
yeah.
Have you heard of Nazare? Have you heard of Nazare?
How's
It's like Mavericks. It's in Portugal. It's a big wave break that's like right off the beach. It's actually Mavericks is pretty far out. It's like a bit of a paddle. Um,
yeah.
but Nazare, it's right at the beach,
Huh.
and it's the biggest waves in the world.
That hit the. Oh, geez.
Yeah. So, but
What are
yeah,
the?
I would rather just go to Mavericks. I don't want to go all the way to Portugal.
Yeah. Miami, Bells Beach. I just say like where are these? You saw Point Break.
hmm
The good one.
Yeah,
The good
Jaws is insane. Gendry just
oh
said
yeah.
Jaws. That's off of Maui.
Oh, oh,
What were you saying?
no, that yeah, it's like Point Break. Do you remember that Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, the 100-Year Storm.
Bank robbers that like go surfing. And then, yeah.
Yeah, remember the end? That was the 100-Year Storm.
Oh yeah. Bells Beach. Yeah. Australia.
Yeah,
But, great movie. I didn't see the remake, but
it was not that good.
yeah,
It didn't have that feel of the original. The original is epic.
yeah, it was a bunch of adrenaline junkies that like it didn't matter if it was surfing or skydiving, or bank robbery.
Flea was in it.
Just yeah, oh yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah.
Yeah, Anthony Kiedis was in it too. That's right.
Oh,
Dude, if you ever come down here, I can take you to the spots where they shot.
oh yeah. What's the deal with filming in LA? I mean, are they gonna do you get hassled if you ever get asked if you have a filming permit or anything like
Yeah,
that?
it does happen, but not often.
Yeah.
It's like if you're on Rodeo Drive, there's like these liaisons and stuff, and you're not supposed to. They. But most of the time, like, nah, nobody's gonna bother you.
I heard the like the police are they crack down. The city cracks down on illegal filming a lot in LA. So much so that like they'll go after like illegal filming more than actual like crimes. So if you're ever getting mugged or raped, just yell cut. just say, all right, one floor was feeling, and they'll think it's a set, and then they'll be on there and like, oh wait, what are you doing here? Film the movie? That's a bad joke. That was admirable of me. That
Do you watch his stream? Do you listen to his podcasts?
I do, yeah.
Have you watched the? Have you watched his documentaries on Netflix?
No, not the last one I saw was about Boxer. Is what was, oh no, I saw the thing about Ferrari and they did some cars documentaries.
Yeah, they were pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I can see you making documentaries.
I think that's what I'm about, honestly. Like, I really want to go into like some drama and just like get some friends together and like give them parts and like practice acting, and like tell stories. But I love watching documentaries. So makes sense. If I love watching them, then why not make them?
Yeah,
I
and the good thing, it's like you don't need a huge budget to do a documentary. It's sit down interviews, a couple B-roll shots of the location, and not a lot of special effects and that stuff.
Yeah. And being someone that documents just over the course of my life, taking photos here and there, I might actually already have content ready to go from my past to tell the story. Like,
That would be cool to like you incorporate that with the van lifestyle. That you turn that van into like a production center, a mobile production
that's
center.
what it is.
Yeah.
If anybody asks me, I tell them it's my mobile office for video production.
That's like I mean, it's it costs you $10 million to buy a house on the beach, but the thing about a van is go there and hang out and do your work in the set up your laptop and you get access to that amazing view and it's like if you want to change the scenery, you go to something else. Uh, we're very lucky. Both of us are very lucky to be here in California, where we have access to all that really good scenery. Just
I was gonna say that earlier, like that was my main purpose for building this van. My dream. I've had two big dreams for years that I think about all the time. I've always wanted to have like an apartment or condo or whatever, like in Malibu, the West Side, Hollywood, and downtown. That way, no matter where I am in LA, I don't have to go in the traffic. I just go to my closest pad. I hang out until the traffic goes away, and then I can go wherever I want. So now I have that. Like, there was bad traffic in Malibu today, and I was thinking to myself, like, oh, I would have just pulled my van over and just hung out until the traffic died and then went on my way. Like, and so now I have that. And the other thing is I've always wanted to live right outside of like one of my favorite food joints, or even if it's just like an in and out. So I can literally walk out my front door and there's, my favorite Mexican food or whatever it is. And now I have that. Like, I can park literally outside of any restaurant.
I would live outside Pigs. I'm still craving those chili dogs. Like that stuff is they do something to it. That's like, but and the fact that it's open really late.
It ain't open at all.
Yeah.
They've been closed down since March.
Oh.
Most of West Hollywood is just completely shut down.
I mean, okay. The thing is, what the hell are you and I doing just sitting here, like, talking about this stuff? We're living in, like, we should be out there doing this.
Documenting COVID.
This is a unique situation. This is a moment in history. This is like a 9/11 for this generation.
Did you see my video where I went to Hollywood Boulevard and there was nobody?
Nobody there?
And I went and I did some time lapses on the freeway to show like it's the middle of rush hour and there's hardly any cars.
You're never never going to get access to that again. It's like,
Mm-mm.
yeah, there are some really, like, what it costs to shut down a street just to film like to get 15 minutes of video. And now it's like, yeah, in fact, everything's like sheltered in place and shut down. You could film the ultimate apocalypse, like zombie apocalypse movie right now, and you wouldn't have to
Oh, you're
worry about
right.
like walking through the set or anything. It's like that movie I Am Legend was incredibly expensive because they had to recreate like New York City that's totally evacuated. Well, now the places like LA or you can get daylight shots of this stuff. You don't have to show up at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Uh, but shoot, I kind of want to go to San Francisco right now.
Man, I
Just
kind of want to go with you.
yeah. Oh, big shots.
Get some clam chowder in a bread bowl.
That would be great. That would, yeah.
Eat it outside.
Problem is like it's the thing that really sucks here in the Bay Area is that the fact that everything is closed. Everything's like store like curbside pickup. You can't use it. There's no bathrooms, so there's like you can't just go into like a maybe you could find a Safeway, but I think they blocked out. They have all of their bathrooms for employees only or something like that. So,
It's okay. I got bags I can shit in.
but yeah, that's true. That's true. That
Dude, I already piss in a bottle here.
yeah.
Sometimes I need to go to the bathroom and like somebody's in the bathroom and I don't want to wait, so I'll just like go in a cup.
That's yeah. Yeah. See, yeah. It's uh, that's MacGyver style. But yeah, no, it is they're it's like you like rideshare. Not everybody is cut out for rideshare. The van life, not everybody is cut out for that. But if it fits your personality, then like that could be it's an amazing adventure.
I think it's too about your experiences, like I've been camping. I've had to pee in a bottle before. Um,
Yeah,
and then like, I think there's a lot of things that people just think like no. They're just no. They just want to say no to so many things.
yeah,
And my personality type is more to like investigate, and not um
not freak out when like something has to make
well,
sacrifices.
but not judge or not worry about being judged, but decide for myself, investigate, decide for myself what is this really? Is it worthwhile? Is it not something I want? Instead of, people just want to jump to conclusions before they really experiment, like, some girls are just like, no, and it's totally understandable. Like if I was a girl, they're just like, no, I'm not pissing in a bottle, right? But then I've been watching these
I know.
van channels, and
Oh
then
yeah.
some of these girls, they have this like special thing.
Oh,
So
the female like it's like a penis tube or something like that, or it's
yeah, it's like
it like turns.
it helps so that they can like it guides the urine into the bottle while they're peeing,
Yeah,
and it's just this little thing.
little plumbing attachment.
And like this one chick tripped me out because she was just totally down about it. Like she was just no shame at all. And it
I,
made me
I could
realize,
totally see that's your future wife. I could see you hooking up with one of these survival chicks out there.
hey, as long as she shaves her armpits, we're good.
'Cause, yeah,
Because a lot of those girls don't.
I, there was this. I was going out with this Japanese chick years ago. It was like, and we went to Disneyland. My mom had a place in Oxnard. We were staying at my mom's place, and we got back. We stayed out really late at Disneyland. Had a great time, and then we drove back. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. After we getting something to eat, like and back, it's like so pulled up to my mom's house at like 2 o'clock in the morning. My mom had gone to sleep and locked the door, and I didn't have a key. And so I was like, shoot, let's just sleep in the car. Like, we'll just recline the seats. And it was this, I had like an old Honda CRX. And
What'd she say?
I was fine. She's like, she wouldn't have it. She was like, no, that's not happening. We're getting like a hotel, even if it's just for like 4 hours. It's like that. Uh, yeah, because
But it's
there's always,
understandable. Like for me, like I want a bathroom,
yeah,
you know, like and so I'm gonna have like everything that's gonna make me comfortable in my van. But like I don't have that yet. Like I want a sink, I want running water,
yeah,
I want a place to shit and piss, even if it's a bottle.
in a shower.
When I first got my van, I took it camping and I had nothing. I just threw a mattress in there and went camping. And I forgot to
Yeah,
bring a bottle to pee in.
huh.
And I was
Well,
like,
you're in the woods.
"Ah." Well, yeah, I could just go pee outside, but I feel weird, like, because there's other people camping there, like it's just kind of like not very classy to just like pee everywhere.
But that was the trip that screwed up the suspension. Uh, or you took the van off like some.
Yeah, on the washboard road, and then it blew out my control arm bushings.
Uh, but other than but was it a fun trip? The fun camping? Did you like that?
I made a video about it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
the
ever
video is
messed with
really
the
good actually.
oh
There was this guy that was missing an arm, and the video came out crazy. It was like some "The Hills Have Eyes" shit. Like the dude's yelling at me at night, and it was just, and then he was like so
that's
creepy.
all right. Yeah. Shoot, I don't remember. Well, yeah. There's something in the tech world called minimum viable product, and there's something called feature creep, which is like when they're making if you're going to make an app and somebody says like let's add this, we got to do it this, we keep on adding features until you're never really release the app, so you get caught in this thing. So minimum viable product, you got a van, you have a mattress in the back, you're good to go. That so
And a bottle to
they
pee in.
just add a bottle, yeah. But so yeah, I hope you don't get like it doesn't have it's you don't get caught up in this like you're always working on the van until you before you start this adventure. Uh, that I mean, there's certain things like you're putting a lot of time and like a lot of work and detail. That's gonna be a nice setup. I mean, you're taking all the rust out and you're putting in like are you doing insulation?
Yeah, I'm doing it. I got all the stuff. I do want to get up to Reno and get some Havelock wool. Um, when I pulled my engine apart, I had two rusty bolts break on me.
Oh yeah,
I was scared. I was like, dude, am I gonna be able, like, it broke. A bolt broke in the head. So I was using the vice grips, and there's like not enough room to get them in there. And I'm just, oh, but I made it through, and now I have newer bolts in there, so that's good.
yeah. I you know one of my best memories with when I was living in the and I had the minivan that I was sleeping in was this one time that I decided I'm going to go to Yosemite, and I just drove out to Yosemite. I spent the day walking around trails and stuff like that, and then I looked on Google Maps and I realized like, oh, I can go to Reno. Reno is only a couple more hours.
Hmm.
I can take this way back, and so like I decided like I didn't have to worry about finding a hotel. I'm saving a bunch of money on hotel costs. So it's like, yeah, it just so then I just kept going up the road, and then
Did you take Tioga Pass?
I think that sounds familiar. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was like
scary road.
east through. It was really beautiful on that ride, but it was just it was like that's like that was fun. You just decide like nice. And
Dude, I'll meet you at Yosemite Valley. We could meet there.
that'd be yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd love to go back with my cameras and what I know about how to. Now I finally know how to like take like good, decent shots.
We'll go find Alex Honnold.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you watched Free Solo?
Yeah. Oh, I watched a little bit of it.
Do you have Hulu?
I don't have Hulu. My brother has it.
It's on Hulu right now. Yeah, you got to check out Free Solo. It is so gnarly. It's like
That helicopter is
it's like
uh,
remember Evil Knievel, how he would like really embellish like the danger? They kind of shot it like that, but it didn't even seem like embellishment. It was like, no, this is like serious. Like this is so beyond anything Evil Knievel ever did.
that's one of the craziest things I heard about like rock climbing is the fact that like some of those climbs, like El Capitan, it's straight up and they actually it takes more than a day to climb that thing. So you actually have to sleep on the rock.
He
Like
did it in
sleep in
4 hours.
oh yeah oh 4 hours. Speed
It
climbing.
takes a lot less time when you're not using ropes. That's what free soloing is. He had no safety gear, no ropes, just his hands and his shoes, and that's it. And some chalk.
Well, yeah, Yosemite. There's a giant boulder there. There's something called bouldering, which is I guess rock climbing, but just for giant rocks that are not climbing a mountain or something like that. So, and there's a boulder there called the twin lightning or double lightning or something like that. And it's one of the yeah, it's a famous boulder for rock climbing on it. It's like there's a whole bunch of uh, uh, I've been enjoying like rideshare trickster has got some really cool footage of Sequoia National Park. Uh, but shoot, that.
Dude, we should go to Yosemite, dude. We should go to Yosemite. Like, I wish my van was done. I'd be like, let's go the next weekend.
Yeah, they opened, they reopened, but it's like reservations, the limited capacity, and get it. It's like just getting into the park. But that one of the going, one of the long term goals, well, they've had for a long time is that I just completely organize my life, get it down to just like I have a backpack full of stuff, and then I sell everything and go to Asia and just travel around, backpacking around Japan and Taiwan and South Korea and stuff. It's like uh, Vietnam and just to like live in that world and document it on the YouTube channel. And, but then another part of me was thinking like, well, I could do that here in the United States and just tour around the United States in the van. And then another idea was like, I thought like, well, maybe I could take a train everywhere, like not even have a vehicle, and just take trains around the North America, and just like, the van, you know, I feel like, yeah, it is.
Home is where the van is.
That's yeah. The van thing feels the most realistic. Feels the most attainable.
Good to know, Donnie.
All I need, no, not yeah. All I need is like you just, you know, the mattress and 24-hour fitness. Assuming when they reopen, that membership gets you access to all the clubs in the United States. So you could just use that as your shower or your bathroom and anywhere you're at.
I don't really like that.
Yeah,
Like, I'd rather I'm gonna do a recirculating shower,
yeah.
so I can just have like a couple gallons of water that just keeps going, and I can take as long a shower as I want in the van.
You're definitely
My my vision is that it's one room, right? My van is all one open room. Not I don't want to close it in. I don't want like these little hallways like a lot of them you see. Just
Yeah.
one big open space and with a nice couch and a bed, but like mostly just open space. And it's when you want it to be a bathroom, it's a bathroom. When you want it to be a kitchen, it's a kitchen. When you want it to be a
Yeah.
living room, it's a living room. When you want it to be an office, it's an office. That's my vision.
I mean, have you seen those places in New York City, like the micro apartments, like mini apartments? Uh, they're building these like tiny little like one room kind of. It's smaller than the van, I think, on the size, and they try to have like the kitchen area and sleeping area and a little working area and stuff. But the Japanese are masters at like packaging that stuff. So they, you know, all their places in Japan are like, I mean, Japanese have like they're making use of like
Donnie, I'm gonna have my roof on the ceiling.
oh
He
yeah
said I should have a Murphy bed.
okay like folds into the and you're not going to do a high top conversion thing or
My van is a high top.
oh it's already oh it's yeah because you can stand up
I would like to make it even higher. Get like a pop
yeah
up. I'd love to have a pop up on my
pop
van.
like old yeah Volkswagen bus
That'd be so sick. But yeah, I'm trying to be stealthy as possible, so probably not.
you know what also what's that there's an app Roadie that like you deliver packages from different like people hire you to like if you're going to be it doesn't it's like if you're going to be going to Seattle like next week or something like that you can go on Roadie and then find out if anybody happened to need whatever thing they needed delivered and they'll give you they're like it's probably not they don't pay enough to like actually pay for the whole trip but it's something like if you're going to be going to these locations anyways you get paid to bring a package with you or something. It's like
That'd be
it's no
cool.
cost.
I gotta check that out. I didn't know about it.
Yeah, Savage Scientist told me about that. He did that a while. And the people that really do it roadie like full time are the ones with like giant like full size vans, and they organize like you could do 10 different requests at once, and you can kind of like make your own shipping system. It's so obviously if you mail something in FedEx or something, and like one package, that you paid $15 for delivery is not going to cover the cost of it. So what the post office or these companies do is they pack as much stuff as they can in their location, and they so it logistics part of it. But Roadie is kind of like a little mini version of that sharing economy. But that would be an adventure. Somebody needs something done.
Dude, so we got plans, dude. We're going to Half Moon Bay and we're going to Yosemite
Yeah,
and Reno.
yeah,
Well, I'm going to
yeah,
Reno. You don't have to go to Reno.
yeah. Actually, I'd love to see Vegas. I've never seen Vegas before.
Oh, dude, I haven't been to Vegas since like 2008. Like, I really want to go to Vegas.
Yeah. Isn't Torsten having a party out there for drivers?
He hasn't invited me.
No. Uh, I think I don't know if he canceled because of the whole shutdown thing, but actually, I wonder what the casinos are. I watched No Cry Baby Lifestyle. He's out there, and it's like casinos seem to. I guess they're open,
You know,
but
I met that guy and he didn't tell me that he was no crybaby rideshare
oh really?
and that he was live streaming and he was talking all this shit right
Oh
right like he's live streaming. I'm like 20 feet away and he's talking all this shit about me. And then I'm taught I get introduced to him as Roy and he shakes my hand, doesn't say a word about, so it just shows you how this group is, that group of people, you know what I'm talking about? That are all friends and they go on each other's live streams and
Yeah.
it's like, you
I
know
wish
what?
I wish we got closer. That's one of the things I miss about Aaron's channel is that Aaron used to, you know, used to do the podcasts together, and Mandy was another amazing creator that brought people together. You know,
Did you see I dedicated the last Uber protest that I videoed? I dedicated it to Mandy
no, it's,
because I know she was like very into the protesting. So
God, yeah, even towards the end, she would in a wheelchair and she'd have her oxygen tank and like she'd be out there with the drivers. Um, she really wanted to get her bus license or something like that to be a bus driver. Um, that was her goal. And I've never one of the saddest things videos towards the end was like she was talking about how they're probably not going to let her drive a bus with an oxygen tank or something. I'm like,
her and I are the same age within like a month.
oh, oh, yeah. The cancer. I mean, it's like who knows? It's just a roll of the dice. Uh, there's people that smoke for years and their whole life and they live to be 100 years old. And then there's people that get lung cancer in their 20s. And, like who knows? What's in store. But,
Yeah.
I can't believe it was a year ago. But that that's why we got to we got to live life to the fullest every day. We're here. Uh, if you want to do something with your life, you want to make a change, like now is the only time to do that. I mean, it's kind of fortunate. I see my brother is married, has 3 kids, and he's fine with that. That's his lifestyle. But it's like we have an advantage here of like it's like we could just like decide we're gonna pursue this career, we're gonna choice or this lifestyle, and we can just go out. We don't have to check in with anybody. It's like just do it. It's like
Did you see the documentary about jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge?
the bridge. I did see that. Yeah, yeah. It was
That is
that was
crazy.
that was crazy. Yeah,
That's the
they
most
were
suicides. Like more people jump off the Golden Gate Bridge than anywhere in the world.
true. Yeah, and a lot of people they're like 10 people that survived, and so it's such a low survival rate for them. But there's usually the survivors say like they knew they thought like they had voices telling them to do that up until their body left the bridge, and then suddenly it's like I shouldn't be doing this. I want to live.
Like the moment they jump off, they feel like, oh, what did I just do?
Yeah, one person got saved by like some dolphins or something like that. That kept his body. He was paralyzed, but they kept his body like above afloat so he could breathe until the Coast Guard got there. Uh, and uh, yeah, they're always talking about putting a suicide ban on that thing.
They did.
Uh,
They did
they
put
did.
it. Yeah. Yeah, you can't jump off anymore.
Uh, I remember my dad grew up in the Bay Area, and he would say like the back in the 70s, the San Francisco Chronicle, the newspaper, used to print like the number of suicides, like they used to as a counting number, and then when it got near 1,000 people, they stopped printing it because they realized like, oh, they're encouraging people to do that so they can be the 1,000th. suicides, but
There was
that was like
30. 30 a year is the
that was
average.
30 a year. That's like more than two a month. More than two a month. Like so, like one. It's like once every 2 weeks. So they didn't have to wait too long to get like that footage too. They would just camp out with their cameras, and it's I've I, I've I've taken like wonder if anybody's like taken an Uber out there. Many of my passengers that I've dropped off at the Golden Gate Bridge were like they're taking it out because they like when it goes up. There's just
I mean, that's a
yeah,
popular spot to go. So
yeah.
my battery's
I
about to
mean,
die. That's why I plugged in.
oh yeah. I mean if they're gonna kill themselves, they're gonna do it no matter what. It just happens to be like the Golden Gate Bridge has some kind of symbolism or something like that, or it's available. So a suicide barrier is not going to stop, and it's some crazy. Like there's like 40,000 suicides a year in this country, and
We're all gonna die sometime.
yeah, actually a lot of the handgun deaths are suicide, self-inflicted.
Hunter
That's
S.
like that's
Thompson.
another thing. What's that?
Hunter S. Thompson.
Oh right, right. That's yeah, yeah. Fear and loathing. Uh, uh, the one of the things that's opened my eyes about this pandemic is the death rate. There's something that already kills as many people in a year as COVID-19 is going to. Heart disease.
Yeah.
Heart disease already kills like 600,000 people every year in this country, and like we are like about COVID-19 has killed 135,000 people worldwide. Oh no, no 135, no half a million actually, half a million people, over 500,000. 135,000 Americans have died of coronavirus. But even when we get through this, we're still going to have heart disease that takes out 600,000 Americans every year. Heart disease is something that we can do something about by
Well, you know
exercising and
what's
doing
crazy too is when you do something about heart disease, you're also doing something. If you hit it at the root, you're also doing something about addiction. You're also
yeah,
preventing suicides because it all comes
depression,
down to psychological issues, right? Like
right?
trying to fill an emptiness, right? That people have. Like I do it sometimes. Like last night, I was eating like all these chips and dip and like stuff I normally don't eat. And once I got started, I couldn't stop, you know? And it's like, man, if I if I did that all the time, I'd be like guaranteed a heart attack, right? Not that I still couldn't end up having a heart attack. Like, there's people that are seem like really healthy and they end up having heart attacks too. So
There's something to be said about like it could be an incredibly positive thing just waking up in the morning and going for a walk. Something as simple as that can really change somebody's outlook on life. And so I would think like you know yeah it's like it's tough to give up all that stuff though.
some people don't
But
really have like they go through periods where they don't really have the will to live
yeah.
and take care of themselves. Like you just, you know,
Well, I think that the longer you exist, it's like the more you surround yourself with people that are like that don't even have it like they don't put any pressure on you. Um, if you had a job that you had coworkers and you every Friday was swimsuit day, everybody had to wear a swimsuit to have this social pressure of like, oh, okay, I gotta, maybe think about my looks or my health or something like that. But I don't know. The thing I found is like since uh, the last time I really rideshare really ruined me. Like in a lot of ways, of like it's been fun. It's kind of a social boot camp, uh, but it's also like it's made me kind of make this like sedentary like maybe I'll take classes next year or like I'll do something. It's just like everything just got complacent the last couple of years where it's like I'm just gonna do this and I'll think about doing put all these goals off in the future. But I know that like this is always available for me, or this is anytime I want to go out there and drive. It's like, but I wasn't building anything. I didn't feel like I was really building anything like working on a resume or experience or something like that. And now, 6 years later, I probably would have a harder time getting a job at like McDonald's or something. Uh, with that experience, but
Yeah, but
if I
don't,
spent six, if I worked at like,
you know, I mean,
if I worked at like Target for 6 years, at least I would be like a manager or a store manager or something like that. So I didn't get fired.
but it's really easy to like look at the negatives when there's really a whole lot of positives, you know?
Yeah, you need
Like,
that discipline.
like, like it's like that song, you can't always get what you want, but if you
Oh
try
yeah,
sometimes you can get what you need. Like we always have this like we look at what we can't have and we think like, oh, I could have been there if I did this and but no, like that's not the reality. You can still get there. It's just you gotta work towards it and it takes time. And yeah, it's just
yeah,
you know, and
yeah,
and
that's true.
it's really easy. Like we're all on our own path, right? It's really easy for me
Yeah,
to be like, oh man, like why aren't I a model photographer? You know what I mean? Like why aren't I working for Sports Illustrated taking pictures of hot models? And it's like, well, only so many people even get to do that. So it's kind of ridiculous to be down on yourself because you're not doing that, right? Because
it's true.
I mean, I think
Yeah, there's only so much you can really blame on. Like, it's like you can't. Yeah, I mean, it's not like there's anything keeping me from doing other things with my life over the last 6 years other than rideshare. So it wasn't like Uber had a gun to my head. You know,
and the study on baseline, like everybody has their baseline. Dan Bilzerian was talking about this and how he like bought a Lamborghini or he bought a Ferrari and it only made him happy for like 30 seconds, you know? Because it's like wasn't a big deal to him. Whereas other people, they get a Ferrari, they do this or that, they do like things that Dan Bilzerian's doing, and it would be like, oh my God, like I've made it. Like my life is so amazing. But to Dan Bilzerian, it's his normal life and it's not that big of a deal because that's his baseline. So it's all about what your baseline is at. So that's what's kind of cool, you know, like let's say I had 4 million subscribers on YouTube. There's not a whole lot to be enthusiastic about life from there. Like I've already made it at that point. But the
would you?
growth and the building up to that and trying to get
Yeah,
there, like, you can have days where your life changed in a day or a month and it's so exciting. But when you already have it all and that's your baseline, life is not that great and exciting.
yeah. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think fame would really change you either. I think you'd be the same person at 4 million subs than you are at 15,000 subs. Like,
I'd change a little bit,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I'd like to think that I'd still be, like I'd still care about life and people and the world, and I'd probably be a lot more generous, if anything,
Yeah.
like, because I would have the ability to be. But
But
yeah, I mean,
that would be, it's. I think that the change in your life would be, the big change would be, you get to a point where like Logan Paul, like he probably can't go to a Starbucks without getting, you know, mobbed with fans or something like that. And, so that would be a difficult thing. That's what every celebrity kind of like. Most common complaint about fame is that like they can't have a personal life anymore. So that, yeah, it's YouTube it's a weird space because there are channels with like millions of subscribers, and it's like some 19-year-old kid who plays Fortnite, and you never heard of them. You could be standing right next to them on the street and probably never recognize like who this person. And they're more popular than like some A-list movie stars out there. It's like and so it's a lot of people aren't prepared for that. Uh, I've seen channels that go from like even on the small version of that. I've seen channels that go from that have like 100 subs, and then they get a shout out or they do something that goes viral in the rideshare community, and then goes to like 5,000 subs, and it's just the pressure now of like every time they go live, they don't have just one or two people, they have like 30 or 40 people watching them, and like it kind of freaks them out on it. But so yeah, you're better off like grinding away and working your way up to that, you know, especially with YouTube.
yeah, when things come too easy, I tend to not appreciate them as much as when I
Oh
have
yeah,
to work hard. But then also, I'm really good at establishing a new baseline. Like I've gone through in the last 8 years, I went from being in terrible back pain to doing pretty good. I still have
oh
like
yeah,
periods of time where I'm not doing so good, but for the most part, I'm in a completely different place than I was 8 years ago. And it's so easy for me to forget about that and be like disappointed with my life and forget like, well, shoot, like at least I feel good now. Like, and that's huge. That's everything, really. And I worked hard. I worked so hard, like every day, like doing different exercises, taking different drugs, and
yeah. You told me about like the different mattresses that you tried, and uh, it's or the medication that
yeah, yeah. So I worked so hard. I'm doing really good now, and I'm even doing better now than I was doing 5 6 months ago.
does.
So it's a huge deal. It's like the biggest deal in my whole entire life. And sometimes I completely forget where I was 8 years ago. And so if I stop and think about that, it's like, man, thank God, like I'm doing, like I won the lottery, like better than winning the lottery. Like I've done, but of course I worked for it, so
Yeah,
it was my
that's yeah.
purpose in life
So
was to get out of back pain. So
what was it that finally worked for you with the back pain?
a lot of things, but the biggest breakthrough is I started taking ketamine.
Oh,
So for like 2 years, I took ketamine like every day, like 5 times a day, and it scared a lot of people, like my parents and friends. They're just like, "Yo, like what is up with Dave?" But they didn't understand. Like they weren't feeling what I was feeling. They didn't understand like this is helping me. Like, but the side effects are so extreme, even on a low dose like I was taking, that it kind of freaked a lot of people out.
is it like a steroid?
No, it's an anesthetic. It's the only thing that they give infants for surgery to knock them out. So as far as
Oh,
anesthesia goes, it's like the safest, like safer than propofol, like that killed Michael Jackson and all that stuff. But the side effects are so extreme. Remember Timothy Leary, the
Oh
acid
yeah,
guy? He said that
yeah.
ketamine is the strongest hallucinogen.
Huh.
The difference is though, like acid supposedly like lasts hours. Ketamine only lasts like 10 minutes.
I heard something about there's something called ayahuasca uh, that is pretty powerful. People go out to like the Amazon jungle and take that stuff, and it's like a life altering experience.
Yeah, it makes you feel sick and you throw up, and then you're a
Yeah,
better person for it apparently.
yeah,
But yeah, that's something. That's another thing about the ketamine. Like it helped loosen up my back, but there was also something psychological going on when I was taking it. It made me. I'm already a thinker, but it made me really think through my life and process things and develop emotionally. It was really weird. Really weird.
yeah. Well, that's good. Then,
You know how they
and you're
talk
still
about?
taking it.
No, not anymore. I haven't taken it in years. But you know how they talk about when you take hallucinogens and they talk about losing the ego? I think that's what was happening with me because I used to be like, you know, like almost a bit narcissistic in a way, like not full blown, not like malignant, but
Yeah,
I started to really analyze myself and my behavior and but I don't know, there's just something I started to realize like so many things that we think matter, like they just don't matter.
yeah, that's true. I mean, in a lot of ways, you kind of need a little bit of narcissism or like an ego to run a YouTube channel sometimes. But um, I was thinking
I don't
like
think you need
there's
it.
a way.
I just think it's very prevalent amongst YouTubers. Like that's something about that
That's
personality disorder that drives you to want that attention.
right. There's two ways I mean, there's a way to classify, categorize a YouTube channel. Um, it's there an ego? Is it an ego channel or is it a service channel? And it's ego is like entirely about themselves. Um, Now, it's not right or wrong. Both of them can be, they can be whatever you want. But like a lot of channels are like, are they providing? Are they just like doing a tutorial on showing how to work this camera or something like that? Or are they? Or is it an ego channel where it's like it's just I had a cheeseburger today. I'm not showing you how I made the cheeseburger or anything. It's just like that's just what I did. I always thought Facebook was like I think I never used Facebook because I thought I don't, it's just a bunch of people like saying what they had for breakfast or something like that. But not like buzz. I didn't think I was that important or something. It's like, and so that's what kind of kept me from YouTube because I thought like, well, people are just vlogging about their day. It's like I don't think my day's that interesting. But no, I mean, there's audiences for all that stuff. It, uh, and if anything, the channels that are the ego channels are more. I mean, no one is 100%. There's a spectrum there, but like the ones that are channels that are closer to an ego channel, like they can be really super successful. There's only a limit to how many like just camera tutorial channels get. But then there's like PewDiePie is like a more of an ego channel. It's like it's about him just making jokes on like nobody can copy that. That's the thing. It's like
But
it's hard for someone to make it.
PewDiePie, I don't watch all of his videos, okay? But he
Yeah,
brings a lot of value to his videos
yeah,
because his opinions come from a place of wisdom. So
that's true.
so you can really learn from him criticizing and having an opinion. I feel like I've learned stuff from him.
That's a good way to look at it. It's yeah.
Like he has a style
uh,
that comes off very aggressive and negative sometimes, but when it really comes down to it, like he um, he has a perspective, and it helps me sometimes hearing him talk about certain situations. It helps me process and come to my own conclusion of like, oh yeah, like I didn't think about it that way. Like that makes sense. And he
I
has insight, being who he is. He has insight on
oh
other
yeah,
YouTubers. He talks about other YouTubers a lot. And when he
yeah,
criticizes other YouTubers, that's from a place of being a
he's
huge YouTuber, so he has insight.
yeah. I think it's like I when I watch his videos, there's so many like terms that he brings up that are I think are just outside of my generation. I just don't understand like what he's referencing when he's I don't it I feel like I'm missing a lot of like it's a different language sometimes, but it
He definitely comes off a
but
bit narcissistic at times, like he's the smartest person in
yeah.
the world. And he does nothing wrong, and he's so smart.
Well, he's got. I mean, the other thing, the crazy thing, the amazing thing about PewDiePie is that one of the biggest channels, single channels on YouTube, and his videos, they still come off looking like he has 1,000 subscribers. Like he basically uses like a webcam and a lot of fancy editing stuff, but it's just uh, it's there's no the guy's making $25 million a year. He can afford like a full on Hollywood production thing. It's like
Yeah, and sometimes
it's
it
just
seems like not even the highest quality.
right. Yeah, Mr. Beast is kind of that way. He like just uses probably just a standard point and shoot camera.
Well, Mr.
Uh,
Beast has a lot of cameras.
oh yeah, to get that's that.
But with the money he
I
has,
always
he could get a bunch of cinema cameras, and he just uses
right.
regular cameras.
You can have a whole film crew instead of like. And I heard somewhere that like these giant, massive channels, they don't want to leave, like they don't want to alienate their audience. They know their audience is like the 20-something-year-old or the teenager, the awkward teenager or something that's like that doesn't have access to a whole bunch of nice stuff. So they're gonna watch a Mr. Beast video and have a good time and thinking like, oh, he looks, he's not using this out of reach technology. It's like there are the flex channels out there that like say like, hey, look, I'm just gonna drive to Whole Foods in my Lamborghini, but uh, PewDiePie never. He's one of the most successful channels out there. He never really shows his wealth on like he doesn't come
Yeah.
across like oh this I've just bought this place this mansion for $10 million or something. It's like
He actually seems like a pretty down to earth dude.
right, right. You don't see watching his videos you couldn't tell if you didn't know who he was and how many subscribers you think oh it's just some guy who makes videos and
But
makes
he
jokes
does
of
live in London, so according to London
yeah
standards, he's practically broke.
oh yeah yeah it's true but uh, it's like then you take someone like Logan Paul and or Jake Paul and they have like a whole mansion of like YouTubers content creators there's another one has something called the Hype House or something like that.
Yeah, they had a
They
falling
get
out.
teams. They had a falling out. Yeah,
Yeah, I like Daisy Keech.
it's
She seems like a sweetheart.
oh yeah,
Daisy Keech.
Daisy Keach.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, there's so many names on it. But they uh, there's no right or wrong. It's just what audience you're going after, and some of them are like there's this one guy Salamandrin car channel thing. And that guy, like, he's not fixing cars. He's paying people to modify his cars. But it's like it's entirely a flex channel. It's just like, oh yeah, that's my new Mercedes SLS. The my McLaren is in for paint correction or something like that. I think I'm gonna go hang out with these guys over there. They're gonna race their Lamborghinis. So that was one thing you ever point out, like daily driven exotics. They show you like the ins and outs of this real world. Appreciate what these cars have to offer. Channels like Salamandra, it's like it just feels comes across as
Look how
oh
awesome I
yeah,
am.
yeah, Mercedes gave me this car so that they can picture it in a video. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just it's
Because I'm just like the
I
most
can't stand.
awesome person in the world.
I think that's like yeah, yeah.
The thing I don't like about the people that show off a lot is I feel like in their heart, they want to feel like they're better than everybody else.
that's a
Like
big thing.
deep down, they need to feel like they're more than others.
Right? So they compensate. I think that's what that's the attraction of someone like PewDiePie, massively successful channel, and yet it's just him and a camera. It's not even a nice camera. It might be shooting in 4K, just but it's uploaded like 1080. But you know,
And there's an example of how you can do some sort of like a variety content. Like you never know what he's going to be talking about, but it's always packaged the same.
right? Yeah. So he has access to any trending topic he wants because his channel can encompass anything. He's not limited like, oh, I'm a rideshare channel. I only have like, something huge in the news that doesn't have to do with rideshare happens. I can't talk about it because I'm a rideshare channel. Like he's found a way to kind of back. It's like, no, so I can cover the election if I want to. Go political. I can talk about video games. Or, it just
And he ends up appealing to a broad audience that way too.
right. Yeah. And he stays positive too. He pretty much like he's not. It's not like him ranting about this stuff. It's not him complaining about how like this unfair this stuff is. It's like kind of makes jokes about it. It's like
And people need jokes. They need to laugh, you know.
yeah. I think again, there's no right or wrong. It's just what people are like. Personally, like that if somebody's like makes a channel just to complain about how like well yeah I don't know it goes into different it's getting deep but so people sometimes people just want to be entertained like they had a tough day and then they don't want to hear about somebody else's problems they want to log in as escapism kind of thing. So but it's actually channels that are likely to burn out are the ones that probably are not about as much about positivity, but about like, focusing on the negative. So you just get like, and I have to talk about this, this thing. It's like, so, I don't know. I know Kevin gets a lot of flack. Kevin seems to get a lot of criticism.
Kevin's a malignant narcissist.
Thanks.
I know so. I've spent quite a bit of time talking to him. He's so obsessed with the negativity. And like when he like but I also like realize he has Asperger's. So
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
when somebody like has like an effect on him, it's hard for him to just be like, oh, this person sucks. I'm gonna put them out of my mind. I don't need them in my life, and I don't need to think about it. Instead, he obsesses over about how much he hates that person, and then he wants to do
Yeah.
harm. Like all this stuff with him and Geo, he thinks
Oh,
like
yeah.
he wants to engage. Like he wants to win, and like somebody like me, yeah, sure, winning's great, but I want everybody to win. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I want us to all win together, and I don't want to ever get into a situation where it's like I'm battling this person that I hate. Like if I hate somebody, I don't want to think about them.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But I remember yeah, it was. Uh, it's crazy though how like those feuds sometimes can be a boost for subscribers. but man, that's a tough way to like build a channel though. It's just start fights with them.
Yeah,
It's
Geo, man, Geo is he's a real
he's kind of
winner there.
calmed
That
down.
guy.
He's yeah, he's kind of calm. Seems to have calmed, kind of mellowed.
He was
Like
like
it's
did a video this week about Trip and about how anybody that was involved with Trip, you knew better. I have no sympathy
oh
for you. Blah blah blah. And it's like I wanted him to comment on the video, like, yo, like don't forget that none of my signups paid any money because I told them all, don't give these people any money, but on the off chance that this company could become something, sign up as a passenger, show interest, and who knows, like maybe we will have a third rideshare company. And I know if I would have commented like that's what I did, he would have just came down on me hard and been like, "No, you're a fucking asshole. You knew what you like he because these guys they just want to fight over shit and talk shit. So I didn't even comment because I'm just like, you know what? I already know what he's gonna do. So why even go there?
yeah,
It's all just the same thing. Him and that's why those guys go at it because they're obsessed with winning. They want to win and they want somebody else to lose. That's their mentality.
focus on like their goal is the fighting, keep the fighting alive, rather than it's uh, I just think like there's a lot of disputes that I've seen over the years on YouTube from the community that seems like they could be worked. These are stuff problems that should be worked out between the people involved, and yet like the people like decide like, oh no, instead of talking it out and working out my differences with this person, I'm gonna make a video and tell everybody, all these people that aren't even involved in the situation, like what's going on, all the problems with this person. It's like, and then you just escalate the situation, and then you start getting these armies together, like two people are going at it, and it's just like, uh,
Yeah,
and
it's
then you
just
gotta love,
it's not even healthy.
you gotta love, oh, you gotta love all the commenters. There's people that don't have, they're non-content creators that want to try and like get the like they're starting to say, hey, did you hear what this person said about you? Like they want to fan the flames, it's
Yeah.
that or people that try to like that haven't run a YouTube channel in their life, and they try to tell you how to run your channel. But
Hmm.
that's always nice.
Yeah, and that's a majority of people. A majority of
Yeah,
people are critics and not doers.
yeah, yeah. It's easier to criticize. Yeah. Look at the Yelp reviews. Yelp was an idea of a system you like businesses, and then what it turned out is the only people leaving Yelp reviews were people that had a bad experience. Um, and so it was very hard to get like somebody who had a good experience at a restaurant or mechanic to leave a Yelp review because it's like, oh, everything's fine. Like there wasn't even one, but most times people are motivated by anger and frustration to do something like, I need to speak out about this. I'm gonna, they screwed me, or they ripped me off, or something like that. And I'm like,
And as you know, once your rating goes down, it is very hard to make it go back up.
justify that.
Especially when you know that they'll give you free food.
Yeah, yeah, that's, yeah.
All right, guys, I'm ending the stream.
Oh, still Inception.
Thanks for chilling with us. And
Check out his live stream. He's going live at 5.
live at 5 tomorrow on Dave the Uber Slave. Peace, guys. I think whoever was on there is asleep.